Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugget. That stands for Fittest Underdog Guru Using Intelligent Tactics. Guys, it is Thanksgiving, the year 2020, and I want to tell you about my favorite Thanksgiving of all time, okay? I don't think it can ever be topped. Although, you know what? Never say never in life. So, Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday because there are no expectations for gifts or anything that's like stressful, okay? Besides cooking, of course. But you're around family and friends, you're enjoying a good meal, and you're sharing a lot of stories, talking, catching up, especially if you had family out of state, right? Or friends out of state. So it's real relaxed, no expectations. You know, you just go in, you have some fun, and you do your thing. So my favorite Thanksgiving goes way back, okay? We're gonna go back in the day. So if you're a wrestling fan, you will like this story. And if you're just a fan of history, you'll like this story, okay? It goes back, I just thought about it as I'm recording this, to 1990. Okay, some of you were not even born. So 30 years ago. And it was Thanksgiving 1990. And so pro wrestling traditionally has the Survivor Series. WWE has Survivor Series. Back then it was WWF, World Wrestling Federation. And earlier that year, my favorite wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior, had won the championship. So I was on cloud nine. Right? I believe I was a junior in high school, or maybe I was just starting my senior year, whatever it was. But life was good, right? Starting my senior year, and I was on cloud nine with Ultimate Warrior being on top of pro wrestling. That's when I started to know that I wanted to do that for a living. And I did. So, 1990, and we lived approximately a block away from my aunt. So my whole family and the other sides of the family all gathered at my aunt's house for Thanksgiving. There were tons of pies. All the family was there. You know, I always say the best time in your life is when, you know, your grandparents are old, your parents are middle-aged, and you're young. And it never changes, right? But that's not how life works. You know, I've lost both my parents already, and I'm the middle-aged guy, and my son is the young teenager guy now. And it's and my girlfriend, her parents are alive, her kids are young, and she's middle-aged as well. But we're anything but your typical middle age, right? We're young, youthful, vibrant, all that good stuff. But yeah, so Thanksgiving was amazing. So that night, the Survivor Series pay-per-view was going to be on. There was no network then. You had to actually pay for this, and I believe it was somewhere around $25 to $35 for this show. So I think we just chipped in, or maybe my aunt paid for it. I don't recall, but it was awesome. So we sat around, we ate turkey, and you know, the men in the family, and I'm still a man even though I don't care about sports, which is why I've always been endeared by my girlfriends, because a lot of women, I know women have, you know, the demographics have changed in recent years, and a lot of women watch sports as well, but most women really prefer a guy that's not a sports freak, right? I would say it's still not a lot of women that watch sports religiously, so that's always been a good thing for this cowboy. So, you know, but pro wrestling was my sport of choice because you knew you weren't going to be disappointed, right? You control the narrative as far as the theatrics of it. Outside Boston Market, there is a line. There's got to be 50 people in line waiting to get in. I guess they have, you can go get your Thanksgiving food there. I don't know. So back on point here. So, you know, we have a great meal, good times, lots of food, and then the pay-per-view. And so we're sitting at my aunt's house. She had a bigger house than we did, and we watched the pay-per-view. And the main event, the Ultimate Warrior, was in a Survivor Series team with Hulk Hogan. I think they had different teams, and then whoever survived of those teams, they went on good guys versus bad guys in the final. And so it ended with Hulk Hogan and the guy he beat for the belt, the guy who beat him, the Ultimate Warrior, they were the last two survivors. So at the end of the whole show, the two best good guys in the company are standing there celebrating, and it was pretty awesome. And yeah, it's a great memory. Can't believe it's been 30 years. Doesn't feel like it. Some ways it does, but unfortunately in my family, a lot of premature death. You know, all the grandparents are gone except for my father's mother, and she lives out of state, but she refuses to die. She's a tough old bird. And you know, but uncles, aunts, like I said, my parents, a lot of them died before they should have. They never really reached old age or senior status, you know. They just passed on. And, you know, with each gathering, and, you know, with less people there to celebrate, it really gives you a perspective on life. And in my family, it changed a lot of things, because any type of like little family feuds or disagreements or people that were mad at each other, it made you think twice about what's really important, because you just never knew who was going to be there the next year, because life happens, you know. If there's a lot of disease or premature death in your family, you just, you know, you learn to just say, you know what, make the best of every day and appreciate people for who they are and love them despite the differences or disagreements. And that's the best way to live your life. And hopefully, you know, you have that option, or you have that in your family where, you know, people get along for the most part. No one's ever on the complete same page, you know. It's not a day to talk about politics or religion or anything that's really divisive, you know. It's a time to just focus on, you know, the year behind you, you know, as you go into the Christmas season as well. You know, the year brings what it's going to bring. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad. I think a lot of people look at 2020 and just say, you know, there was so much crap this year, so many bad things, and it was really a year unexpected. I mean, the things that happened this year, and who knows, you know, we still have a month left. Never say never. You just don't know what's going to happen, because there's been so much. You know, you just wait a minute and something else is going on. You know, there's another protest, a riot, you know, fraud, cover-up, divisiveness at a grand level. I mean, human emotion is heightened right now. I think some of the scenes that we've seen even this year with, like, you know, retaliation, brutality, fires, all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't have seen, or that you think you just turn on the TV and you see it happening in like the Middle East and you go, wow, you know, they're so barbaric. All of those scenes that you might have seen on television years ago, or see on the evening news about what's going on in the world, stuff that you just look at and you just kind of go, wow, that's how it goes in other countries. And we look at ourselves as being, you know, I'm speaking to the US crowd here, especially those of you who are native born, and you just never think you'd see that stuff in this country, in the USA. But it makes you wonder, makes you think twice about everything when you say, you know what, we're not above all of this stuff. You know, we're not above having some version of a civil war in this country because of how divisive politics has been. And I think what it does is it just causes you to step back a minute and think about who you are as a person, who you are in your community, who you are, you know, in the world. and think, how can I be better? What is it that I can do? How can I contribute to make things better? It starts with, I think, instead of focusing on the macro, on everything, and trying to change all of that, I think the best thing you can do is to look inward and say, okay, what can I do to be a better person, to be a better, employee, to be a better husband, wife, father, mother, etc. And start to work on the things that you can change, There's a serenity prayer that my mother taught me when I was little. And when I think about it, it's really kind of shaped my worldview. I get called the hopeless optimist, where I'm always looking on the bright side of things. And I think that's the only way you can look at things if you want them to be better and if you want to be happy. So that serenity prayer is, Lord, give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it's powerful. It's powerful. And whether you believe in a higher power or not, just the act of saying those words, verbalizing them, out loud, and it plants a seed in the subconscious mind, I believe, and it starts to produce, it's like a seed in the ground. It starts to produce fruit. And if you want your life to be better, I challenge you to just say that prayer. Write it down, say it, and sooner or later you'll start to see the effectiveness of it in your life. You'll start to feel better about things in your life. You'll look at problems differently. Again, serenity, the things, you look at it and you say, okay, what can I change? What can't I change? And when you do that, you start to own the things you're supposed to own and change in your life, things you have control of. The things you don't, you begin to let go of, and you just let them work their way out. Because there's nothing worse than trying to change situations that you don't have the power to change, that you don't, like for instance, trying to figure out all the election drama right now. You can look at facts, you can look at lawsuits and look at, positions that politicians are taking and what's going on in the world. But, when you're one person, and depending on who you are, if you're a politician or somebody at the top and watching this video, I guess you might have some power to change things. But for, say, the average person, who works their job, goes home every day, and is really just, in the big sense, in the big picture, not a significant player in it, to take all of it home at night and to let it, permeate and fester, it's not healthy. So you got to draw a line there. And I've had that issue where I get very consumed with the process. I haven't made it a secret that I'm a huge fan of conspiracies, conspiracy theories like 9/11 and other stuff. And it fascinates me, whenever there's some clues to something or something doesn't add up, I'll get consumed into, looking at what the evidence is, what's the argument. And it's not necessarily that I need to know the truth about it, but I'm just fascinated, that other people have done the work, and then, kind of looking at it almost like somebody might watch a movie for escapism, is I might look at that same stuff as escapism and just go, trying to figure out what happened exactly, without really needing to have the answer. I think it's just, in a weird way, it's entertainment. So, life is going to be what it's going to be. There's ups and downs, you guys. There's always something to be thankful for, though. Always something to be thankful for. You're still on this earth, right? You still have breath in your lungs. You still have people around you, somebody. There's people that love you and care about you, and they might be alone at Thanksgiving and thinking, if they're home alone, and say you're home alone watching this, You know, there are people that are in your life that are either in your life currently or in your past that do love you and do care about you and are thinking about you. And it doesn't take much time or effort to just, you know, take your phone and send them a text, or send them an email, or pick up the phone and call them and just say, hi, I was thinking about you. You know, maybe you'll have a couple of stories, you know, go down memory lane and have some laughs together. You know, if you're in close proximity and it's family, maybe they'll say, hey, why don't you come over for a meal? You know, come over for Thanksgiving. We've got another chair here. And, you know, sit down and break bread with them and get reacquainted, you know, catch up. Because, you know, there's a lot more in life that we have in common than we have that's divisive or that separates us. And I think that it's always our personal choice to focus on those things that unite us and don't divide us. We'll always have those things that divide us, but we have a lot of things also in common that do unite us. You know, the human experience, everything that we go through. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't let your pride get in the way. Swallow your pride, reach out, be the one that reaches out, because if the other person or the other people are thinking the same thing as you and they're waiting on you to reach out, then nothing gets done. And there's no reason that if you're looking for that connection, which a lot of us lost this year with so much separation of, you know, 6 feet plus, or things shut down, people afraid to be around each other, you know, you can still connect. We have so much, we have so many ways to communicate now with our technology that there's no reason why on some level you can't reach out to people and at least just let them know you're alive and you're well. Maybe they're not well, so maybe, you know, you reaching out could be life-saving for them. But, you know, it's all good, you guys. Thanksgiving 2020, a year like no other. So it's all good. Sorry for the ramble. I just thought I would turn this on. I had a little travel to do today, so I thought I would just shoot this video, let it run, and just talk. And if I know you personally on this video, besides just you knowing me from the channel, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and hope you and yours are well, whoever you are. And whether you're in my life currently or were in my life, I appreciate you. And I do sincerely hope you're well. And take care of business, getting it done. So I think I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you. The channel's blowing up. Subscribers are up over, I think, 200% growth. Views are way up, and I appreciate it. We're not stopping now. Just getting started, having fun. So guys, think about your life. Think about what's going on. Give thanks. Have a plan. Year will be over soon. Symbolically, you get that fresh restart 2021. And you know, you think about this year, what you could have done, what you can set the groundwork now to make 2021 awesome. And there's no reason to wait. You can start now. Think about your life. Think about what you want in the next year, the next 5 years, and put a plan together. Guys, anybody I know that's been very successful in their life has always had a plan. On some level, they had a plan and they executed it. So the key is focus. Focus on what you want, what you really want. Okay? Like the Spice Girls said, tell me what you want, what I really, really want. Something like that. So, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy your Thanksgiving, enjoy your family that's still around. You know, try to make amends where you can. And think about that serenity prayer. It's pretty powerful. Guys, we'll talk to you again soon. Sorry for the rattled camera. It's the roads.